All right, Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shalonda or Shay Seeking, and we're gonna go ahead and, look into the Book of Psalms today. I think we're gonna start with Psalm 88. Again, I hadn't been in the Word today, and I kind of just wanted to go in, and it's just like, okay, we're right there. We're right there. All right. So, um, you know, mm, it's funny because it just reminds me of the whole Afghan issue. And I thought it was very interesting today of the 3 days, right? We were just reading yesterday about the 3 days that Christ uh, or Jesus um, was supposedly had died. Now, I think that this death is considered to be something else. And I think that it, happened more times than I think we think. I don't know, I'm just seeing this in a sense, or two different entities and throughout the generations. But I found that was very strange how they said that the fall would happen within 3 days or whatnot, Friday through Monday. And again, that's what they're stating. And again, I don't believe everything I hear, or sometimes not even what I see. I really have to take things in. Lately, again, I've been wanting to refrain from doing anything. It's like, since everybody want to act like nobody want to hear it, then I can see why God would turn their face, or prophets and prophetesses have turned their face in times. And like a lot of this stuff, like I feel like a lot of it is like some type of self-reflecting, because see, we look at God or goddesses and in a certain light, and I think we're not looking at the layers and the fabric of the whole thing. But I feel like, again, there's energies here on this plane, right, that are in certain situations that want to reflect their energy on those of us that are the ones that have been chosen throughout our bloodlines, that are here to turn things around, that know who we are and stand in our full potential and power. And so again, I don't need to really come on this platform to exercise that, right? Actually, I feel like I know when I'm coming on here, it's actually to give something to, again, another, right? And a lot of times these are others sometimes that may have gone against my own self in a sense, right? And so that whole like forgiving thing, like always forgive 125 million times or whatever. But it's just like, it's like, oh, life is not fair. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I don't know. I think if you, I don't know anybody else's circumstances but mine. But I mean, it's just a calling. And I guess that's why they call it a calling, because you just hear and feel them calling. And so again, that's maybe why, we go to certain chapters and things are here. So again, I want to say that I want to give like, when I'm doing these texts, I'm hoping to start to incorporate, again, some sense of positivity or renewal, right? Because I know some of the things that happened in this text happened because of deceitful ways and things. And, luckily in my eyes, no one has to believe it. I can see sometimes the discrepancies where and when, right? And I can see that there are imposters in certain seats. Again, when some of us are the ones that are supposed to be in particular seats, and they need your light, okay? Right? And that's not just you. I do it because I know there's others like me that may need this actual message, whether they have wronged or not. It's a general, it's not my information. I'm just one that's been chosen to interpret it and to read it the way that I do, to set the record straight. So again, all of these things, like, I think it's like time to get down to the nitty gritty. I feel like meeting the ancestors halfway where we're meeting this text right here. The ancestors are stepping in some of these parts where I'm seeing some little bit of discrepancies here in this text. And they're saying like, hold on. So again, there are other, like I said, some of these messages really uh, correlate with things that are going on in visions and things like that in my life. And then I think that there's some of us that are connected, or some of us that are close with each other, that again, it may be for those particular individuals as well. Okay. So let's see. Where are we? Okay, we'll just start at 80. And again, there's no rhyme or reason. I don't want to really get too deep. I'm going to give you, if you want to grab a pencil and a paper, I'm going to give you words that you can probably look up in etymology. If I really feel that I need to look up a word, I may do it, because sometimes that can bring light to the whole verse or the whole chapter, right? But if not, then again, I'll give them to you and you can go ahead and look them up on your own. I'll just call them out as I see fit. So again, today I was telling myself, you know, with all of this energy that's around, like, I don't know what's going on with everybody else, but I see all of these things going on about, like, just because, again, it's this whole thing of like the layers. Everything has something to do with something. So the whole, and I'm trying to, you know, keep the peace and not go into that particular type of mess. But the body shaming, all these things, this thing with Afghan, you know, it's just, hopefully it's all going to, you know, come to light, and we're going to be able to see it in the spiritual or within this text, the way we should be able to see it, right? Because again, there are a lot of us that are chosen or elect that are having issues with people putting things on you. Blinders, threats, broken promises, love in war. Twisting of tides when it comes to who the real gods and goddesses are, who we're talking about when we're talking about the all, and how we serve the all. Is by loving your neighbor. Unity is key. So again, if you're in, again, some group where people, and this is what I'm saying, I don't have time. I feel like it's this energy like, hey, you must do something, you must say something. I'm working on what I'm working on. And I don't need to display everything that I'm doing. But since this is just the text, we're just reading from it to get a better understanding of these times, we'll go ahead with that. So again, the chief musician upon Shoshan Nim Eduth, a psalm of Asaph. All right. It's just so much of like this retaliating energy. And my thing is, I don't even hang out in those crowds. I haven't been invited to those particular tables. So I really don't know what these people are saying. And I really don't care, because I've chosen that I just don't want to get involved with that at this point in time. I'll just go back to the text and use that. Because this whole thing about God and all this, the kingdom and stuff, it's about remembering. It's about remembering who you are and following that path to self. However you see fit. If it works for you, it works for you. You should not be worried about what everybody else is doing and what they're doing behind closed doors. But again, that's going to be there. People are going to do that because they feel some kind of way about themselves, and because they haven't gone within and done that particular work. And they're going to continue to look at you like, how in the hell is this person still standing? Because again, you're doing the work. And a lot of people don't know what that work is. And again, some of these people are just meant to perish, and they're not going to be, it's not even going to matter at the end of the day. But I think that a lot of this wants to reflect on you. So for today, I've been feeling real good. I've been communing with Source. You know what I'm saying? I've been really tapping into really my heart chakra when it comes to me, and those and just really fine tuning and tuning in on those who are connected to me in that way, right? And just doing away with anything that's negative. If everything must go, then go, and then I will be able to go ahead and put the pieces back together, right? Because again, I feel like there's these positions, there's no there's no competition, because again, so I don't look at people as anything like that, because why? What other people do is really not my business unless it concerns me. And then, hey, I'll process that. I'll see what's going on, and then I'll move on. It's not going to affect me in any kind of way. It's not going to affect the way that I feel about myself. All right? And it shouldn't affect the way you feel about yourself. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what they're exposing. It's not me. So it's not me today. It's kind of remind me of Betty Wright, After the Pain. Right? My Father in heaven is watching you. And the fact that everybody say what they wouldn't do. But that's because you know me and I don't know you. So again, I'm starting to understand and see that, again, there could be just jealousy and strife amongst the gods as well. And especially when it comes to love and war. And we have certain energies, again, that feel some kind of way because they feel some kind of way about certain, especially when it comes to feminine energies, especially when it comes to our mountains, those women. It's about tearing them down at the end of the day. It's supposed to be God's gift to men. But again, sometimes men want to gift her off to others, and that's when the problem starts. And then it turns right back on to the mother earth, or wisdom, because she has to go through all of these changes all the time to set the record straight. And I do believe it has something to do with the combining, like I said, of a divine masculine and feminine in the full power and glory. And it's just unfortunate that those of the world know that and can sense that. They sense it. And so they try to tear it apart. And again, if you're not prepared with yourself, again, then that's just how it ends up happening. So I feel like that's why I spend a lot of time just doing that particular work, which looks like it's nothing or laziness to other people, but it's actually getting shit done. But I won't let people reflect their energy that they're feeling on me. I've been feeling really fine today, actually. I've been really yeah. But I know that this energy, that someone wants me to feel it. You understand? Somebody wants me to feel it. Somebody wants me to feel like I'm the one that should be looked. But again, deep commune. What it really is again, some of these energies need you. And again, we need some of them. And that's why it's just about unity and everybody staying in their lane and doing what they're supposed to be doing to serve the kingdom as a whole. Okay? So again, let's just go here to 79. So again, we're just reading. Excuse me. O God, the heathen are come into thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. Okay? Okay. Oh God, your land has been conquered by the heathen nations. Now, I mean, I don't know. You see, I don't know. Like, again, this is just like, again, the Holy One. I'm feeling like we're talking about the Holy One or Holy One. And, we're talking about, again, these nations that, again, when you look at the term heathen, which that would be a good one to look up in etymology, what are we really talking about? Is the heathen someone you should fear? Right? Because, again, these Christ energies of this day would not be honored by the people in their own neighborhood, maybe even family and friends. So again, in that sense, it makes you a target, possibly, right? Or they feel like it, right? But that's when we start to talk about the thousands falling, right? So again, they shouldn't be, but they have been, right? So almost just that whole same energy with Christ, going to the own people and then being turned away. But as above, so below. Again, while you're on your journey here, there's someone else in another situation that's on that journey with you that you may be connected to in a sense. And you may be able to share something with them that they don't know, and they may be able to share something with you that you don't know. It's just when they are in their place and people get their hands on them and on their minds, and then you're in your situation and people get their hands on your mind, that's where the chaos and confusion comes in. And it's all about division. So it's saying your temple is defiled and Jerusalem is a heap of ruins. And this is what they wish. The bodies of our people lie exposed. Okay? So again, this is also given me an energy of exposure, of people exposed, and again, they're prosecuting the holy ones, which means in turn, they are going to be persecuted. Which are two good terms to look up in etymology. And see, these individuals like to confuse cockiness with confidence and what you're saying in your connection to the all and to the ancestors. I mean, so at the end of the day, there's going to be exposure. There's going to be things like this. There's going to be people that want to tamper with your soul or select your souls. They lie exposed, food for birds and animals. The enemy has butchered the entire population of Jerusalem. Blood has flowed like water. No one is left even to bury them. The nations all around us scoff. They heap contempt on us. And I feel like that's what's going on in mass media. Again, we're not going to get into any specifics or particular. And again, it's just this whole thing. It's an energy, and I feel like it's connected to the women in my family. And other entities and energies attaching on. But again, when you know that you're a part of those particular royal or regal or real bloodlines, then, and that's how it's been. It's always been that kind of energy that's like an oppressive energy over those particular beings. And it's not going to change until they find the ones that we've been waiting for, which is us, that were built differently to be able to sustain this type of energy. And again, some of us are just waking up. Every day is about waking up to who you are and what power you hold and utilizing that. And again, this is why I be thinking sometimes like, yeah. I'm guessing this is why they want you to be alone and feel alone, and they don't want you with that other, because it just takes one, and possibly one, to change things. So they just focus on separating the two and feeding them with fear mongering and witchcraft and sorcery and things like this in order to try to break down what God has put in place from the beginning, or at least some of ours. So again, when they're forming an opinion for you to think some certain way. And again, it may not be that way. It may be that way for somebody else, but they're projecting that onto you. Okay, blood has flowed like water. Now one is left, no one is left even to bury them. The nations all around scoff at us. They heap contempt on us. How long will you be angry with us? Forever? Will your jealousy burn till every hope is gone? Pour out your wrath upon the godless nations, not on us. So again, I can see this in dual ways. I can see some of, again, when we talk about so-called our people, saying, why do you talk like this about us? And when it's just really just what it is, right? Why don't you talk about those particular people, right? And then you can say the same thing. Why are you taking your wrath out on me? Why are you not taking your wrath out on those? Why you want to select somebody that's doing something to help us advance in whatever way because it's different than what you're doing? Is it because you want to be doing what they're doing? And so, like that's what I'm saying. Like some people wish that they had that particular light. They may have their light, but they want yours too. So again, that's where greed and everything comes in, and envy, and it's just over and over and over again. And it's in real life right now. Especially when it comes to the women. The women, that they want to make feel hopeless carry a lot of weight. But again, they can't. It takes that unity of the male and female, right? Or the masculine and feminine, however it would be, spiritually, physically, you know what I'm saying? However it is, it takes those individuals to get it together in order to advance, right? So the longer we wait on that, all right? So again, in a sense, there might be misunderstandings too, because some people may think that you are pouring the wrath out on them and you're actually talking over them. You know what I'm saying? You are talking about the other energies, and that's why things are shifting and changing. But again, people think that you're talking about them in particular. That's why I go to the root and I go all the way up to see from the top as to what's going on. How did we get in these certain situations? But if you feel guilty because you're doing something against your divine, then, or the collective, or, you know what I'm saying, then you would probably have to look at yourself. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to keep stopping too much, okay? Pour out your wrath upon the godless nation. I just like to do that because it helps us see what's going on today and kind of correlate it with it. Because I think that when we look at this text, we are always thinking about way back in some time. So I just say it like this with current events so that we can kind of see how this is flowing right now. Okay? All right. Pour out your wrath upon the godless... okay. All right. Pour out your wrath upon the godless nations, not on us, and on kingdoms that refuse to pray, that will not call upon your name. For they have destroyed our people Israel, invading every home. Oh, do not hold us guilty for our former sins. Let us tender-hearted mercies meet our needs. For we are brought low to the dust. Okay, because all men will return to dust is what the text said. Okay. So again, that's making me think of just like people being brought down to a certain level I think like of a equal, like in status or whatever. It feels like, people have been brought down to a certain, level, right? It says, "Oh, do not hold us guilty for our former sins. Let us tender-hearted mercies meet our needs, for we are brought low to the dust." Okay? And so again, in this situation, I feel like that there's that strife or that anger towards, again, source, in a sense, right? Too, because whatever source would have been doing would have been what brought this so-called fall. And these things have happened every 100 years, every 80 years. They've happened throughout the test of time, in the span of time. And again, the person, again, when we're in that Christ energy and coming in and speaking something that people kind of maybe don't understand, or they look at it one way and they get mad about it and they want to do all this stuff towards that particular individual, I feel like, or those individuals, that's what I feel like, is, like, it's like, turn away your anger. But like, where was that when, people are showing that towards you? So even with me, I'm just like, man, sometimes, like when dealing with the Most High or with the All, it's like, man, sometimes I have to go through those days where I have to check myself too. I really have to check myself and say, what are you doing? I don't know. It's just something. Which way are you going? So if you guys see me pull out videos, hey, it's already been spoken. It's said. Again, there's no need to hide it from any type of foreign intel. And when I mean that, is means something outside of myself. Because they're already watching. Okay? So they already know what I said. And they're blocking, and whatever energy is blocking, masking what I'm saying by, again, oppressing the platforms. And that's just what it is. So I can feel like nobody's hearing, but actually maybe a multitude are. Right? But again, if you go in that other direction, we have the way to shut that down. Right? If you're going in the direction of truth, or if you want to start talking about what it really is, then we can just shut you down. Or we'll try to do something to make an attempt to fearmonger you, or put you in a place. And that's not why I take my videos down. I take my videos down sometimes because I feel like, damn, did I go in too heavy when it comes to source? Right? That's the only reason why you'll catch me taking some videos down. Or not putting them up is because, again, if nobody want to hear it, then what am I talking for? I can do my spiritual work with source myself. Why am I going to be still talking? It just fuels the fire to bring that energy towards me. But anyway it goes, I feel like if I say something, if I'm damned if I do, if I'm damned if I don't. So really, so I don't even worry about what people are saying or doing anymore. I don't even go to try to think about it. It just, for what? And I feel like just learning that you can feel, again, the energies that are negative around you get even more angry. For they have destroyed our people Israel in invading every home. Oh, do not hold us guilty for our former sins. Okay. Help us, God of our salvation. Help us for the honor of your name. Oh, save us and forgive our sins. And instead of asking this, again, you'll have a lot of energy that's just trying to like fearmonger you into it and make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Right? Or just instead of just saying it, face to face, it's just like going all the way around it. Because again, they don't want you to know who you are and who they know that you are. Why should the heathen nations be allowed to scoff? Where is their God? Again, you have to question that too, really. Who's dealing? Who's wheeling and dealing around here? You know what I'm saying? Who's wheeling and dealing around here? Or is it the division amongst groups and the hatred amongst family lines and lineages that is making it hard for us? You see what I'm saying? it just comes down to that. It just comes down to it. People want to hold position of power. Sometimes that don't even belong to them. It's just they had a heads up, or they had a, you know what I'm saying, they already got a dog in the fight or some skin in the game. Where's their God? Publicly avenge this slaughter of your people. Listen to the sighing of the prisoners and those condemned to die. Okay, now these could be also deaths of legalities, or also, spiritual death. It can be also somebody so-called dying, okay, or leaving this place. Demonstrate the greatness of your power by saving them. O Lord, take sevenfold vengeance on these nations scorning you. Then we, your people, the sheep of your pasture, will thank you forever and forever, praising your greatness and from generation to generation. And this is that energy I feel like I feel lately. But at the same time, behind closed doors and behind your back, it's just the same thing. It seems like it's just always the same thing. It's just enough to restore that power or that energy with some of these individuals, not all. They know they need that part of the lineage to go to. But they refuse, and they want to talk about your pride and all this other stuff. Are you sure it's not the other way around sometimes? This is 80. O shepherd of Israel, who leads Israel like a flock. O God enthroned above the guardian angels. Okay? Bend down your ear and listen as I plead. This is reminding me of, Megatron or Metatron energy here. I don't know why. See, because the angels despised that. They didn't want to respect that. They didn't want to respect that God had they called this Megatron, or little God. He even knew some of the secrets of God, supposedly, right? He or she, that energy, right? And so again, when they were put in that place, nobody respected it. They didn't want to respect it. They was pissed off. So again, there's that division again amongst those heavenly beings. Because I feel like, again, there's angels that have fallen, and there's others that have been oppressed or pushed down or weighed down with a blanket over their heads or with blinders on. And that's the real generational curse. It may not even be the fault of your family line or your lineage. It may be just that. It may be just that. It may be even family members turning away from wicked ways or things like that and wanting to do things the right way because they know that they can. And again, those other members know that you can, and so they want to latch on to that. And when you don't feed that fuel, then it's a problem. Feed them the fuel, okay? Okay, and so again, that's that energy now. It's just like, back up. It's just like, okay, the table's gonna turn, and nobody's gonna be doing all that other stuff that people doing. They don't have to. You don't have to do all that stuff. Just go within. That's where the power lies. Demonstrate the greatness of your power by saving them. O Lord, take sevenfold vengeance on these nations scorning you. Then your people, okay, we already read that, forever and generations, okay? So it says, O shepherd of Israel, who leads Israel like a flock, O God, enthroned above all the guardian angels, bend down your ear and listen as I plead. Display your power of radiant glory. Let Ephraim, Benjamin, and Manasseh see you. Rouse yourself and use your mighty power to rescue